I guess you can call this my first solo gig. Notice how I held the attention of my audience, Mom. I did improve on that in later years.
Yep, that was me. About 3 years old, blowing on harmonica down on Jackson Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And today, and the next two videos, because we're making two-part, we're going to talk about solo gigs. Now, either solo or dual gigs. But I just love doing this solo act. Let's start right off by saying that you should have a concept. I talked about this in an earlier video with your band having a concept, having an idea, so that you can sell yourself properly. And the solo is big on that. Okay. I had do two solo shows just to have a variety, so it's easier to get booked and such. One of them is a Back to the Beach solo show, or if you had a dual, that's the same thing. But the band I was in Milwaukee, we used to do a lot of Jimmy Buffett. We had morphed into a Jimmy Buffett band for the longest time, and I really liked that beach music, so I call it a Back to the Beach show. The other one that I do is Nothing But the Beatles, and it's a show just about the Beatles music. That's what I grew up on. I was 16 when they came to the States for the first time, and it's a fun one because I tell stories about the Beatles and about the songs and such. And again, it's getting the audience involved. So those are fun gigs. But soloing is a great way of making some extra money, doing what you love, getting out there performing, and making friends with the audience. So that's where we're going today. We're going to talk about soloing, stage fright, performing the show, and getting paid. This is video one. The second part, we'll talk about gear and what I had to figure out with the gear stuff. So, welcome to the solo thing. Okay, the stage fright thing. Again, 6 P's. Prior preparation prevents piss poor performance, and you have to know what you're doing with your songs. You'll feel confident in it. Now, in the solo shows, you're up there all alone. They're only looking at you. I'm not hiding behind a bass guitar. I'm not hiding behind our front man or behind the lead guitar player or anything. Can't hide behind the drummer. He's stuck way back there. But the first 2 or 3 times, actually the first 2 or 3 songs can be a little rough. But all of a sudden you get into a groove. You start to feel comfortable. You're concentrating on your instrument. You're concentrating on your songs. You're not worried about the audience. You're not afraid of them. You're telling them stories and you're seeing them react, or you're doing your show, whatever. Remember, it's a performance. Okay, you're not just sitting up there playing guitar and singing. That's why I put a show together. So to get over the stage fright, first couple songs, again, stay away from the alcohol, at least for the first set, because alcohol does not make you a better musician. And if you want to be calm, stay away from the coffee. Just drink water to start with. You can have a beer during the set because you have to, get the people participating and such. But that helps prevent on that stage fright thing. For instance, the Beatles show, I started working on it in November, and didn't have the show until 4 months later. So that's 4 months of rehearsing the same songs and getting them down good. But they're fun. The solo gigs are fun. They're duels or whatever, and it's a great way of getting out there, performing, doing your thing, and entertaining an audience. Your solo act or duel, performing it. Again, it's a performance. Two people I knew back in Milwaukee, and now they're in Milwaukee and in Florida. But Bobby Way, he's Bobby Way in the Wayouts back in Milwaukee. But he also works with Chick, with John, and they call Bobby Way and Chick. The greatest duel you've ever seen. They have fun, they interact, great performers, incredible musicians and incredible vocalists, but they interact with each other like a couple of goofballs, and the audience just loves it. They do music that summertime that you can interact with and stuff. So, yeah, if you ever get a chance to catch them, you may want to. But remember, it's a show. You're performing for your audience. Yeah. Remember the Smothers Brothers, just comedy show, but they were great musicians. Okay. I like to get the audience participating, get them to sing along. I know us on the Beatles stuff. Really, I think everybody's favorite Beatle was Ringo, believe it or not. Because when I do the Nothing But the Beatles show, everybody sings along to all of Ringo's songs. In my Back to the Beach show, I get people involved. Well, right now we can't get them up on stage because of COVID, and we really can't get out singing to them and getting out and performing at the audience, not just on stage, but getting into the audience, because I have a wireless mic and I love to do that. But I do get them singing along. I do Chuck Berry's "My Ding-a-Ling," and the women are singing, the guys are singing. It's great to get the people participating. They're performing along with you, and it makes you feel a lot more comfortable. When I was able to get out into the audience, I would try to videotape it like this, and half the show you wouldn't see me. I wouldn't be on stage. You'd have a video of an empty stage because I'm out with the audience singing to them. So I get them involved. I get them to play the rubboard or the tambourine or the maracas. My band back in Milwaukee used to hand out shakers, which were plastic water and Coke bottles with popcorn in it, and the audience would keep beat with us, hopefully. But you get them involved, and they're performing with you, and they love you then. All right. So remember, it's a show. You're not just up there sitting on a bar stool singing and playing your guitar. Let's talk about pay. These clubs, they're there to make a buck, and so they have a budget. But what's nice if you're a solo act or a duel is you're doing all the work. Guess what? You're getting all the pay. And you deserve it. You're there to entertain that audience. You're there to make friends with that audience. And get them sign up newsletters, our emails. Get them to request songs. Now that's a big one, because in part of this thing with the pay is you have to have a tip jar out there. Don't be afraid to run that tip jar. I never ask for tips. The tip jar is out there. I never tell them to make sure to tip your waiters and waitresses, your wait staff. I just feel like you're insulting someone when you have to tell them or remind them to tip your waiting staff. People will tip for good attention, for good service. But with my tip jar out there, if someone asks for a special song, and if I know it, I'll attempt it. I'll do it. Even the blues band I'm with, If someone asks for a song and we don't know it, but we think we can get away with it, we'll try it. But in the solo act, if someone asks for a song and I know it, I do it. And guess what? The people will tip for that. If I don't know it, I do make the statement, hey, I'll learn it for you, and I'll perform it at the next time we're together. And guess what? They'll come on back, and they'll tip you. So that's a helpful tool in getting tips into that tip jar. And you make a good living that way. Right? So you make the money, you got the tip jar. It's easier to get gigs too, especially during this COVID thing. Restaurants and bistros, bars can only have 50% capacity right now. So the clubs don't want to pay for a full band. On top of that, a full band generally gets people involved in, well, duels and solos do too, but gets people involved in dancing, and they don't like that right now. So as a solo act, it's easier to get the gig because you're entertaining them in a different way. The performance is built a little bit differently. You're flowing with the audience, a lot more participation with them, so that they can sit down at their table and enjoy the show that way. But when the COVID thing's over, still going to do the solo act, and my buddies all do solo acts. They in Florida, Wisconsin, and such. They do a great job of it, and you can't beat the fun in it. So give it a try. Don't be afraid. Remember, after about 3 songs, you start to loosen up, and you're doing it all. Might as well enjoy it. All right, get into those solo acts. Now, part 2 of this, I'm going to be talking about the gear. I mean, there's questions. I started this 4 years ago with the solo act, and I had so many questions and didn't know where to get those answers. So it took trial and error on how to accomplish all this. So in part 2, we're going to talk about how I'm handling backup, the kinds of gear I'm using, different methods of doing it, be it backing tracks, or you playing it all, or you laying it all out on yourself on the computer and such. So look forward to that. Hit the subscribe button and that notification button, and it'll let you know when that next video comes on out. And thank you very much. Hey, down below, make sure that you make a comment if you have something that you'd like to hear discussed or whatever, or if you have some questions, or if you don't like something, just give me a notification. Let me know. All right, and look forward to hearing from you. I will check on that stuff. So catch you next time. Bye.